Hey guys, welcome to Tech Tricks tutorial. Today we are going to talk about Monday.com full tutorial how to get started with Monday.com. It is a step-by-step guide to follow easily, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So let's dive right in. Monday.com is a popular work operating system that helps team collaborate, plan, and track work more effectively. So for you to be able to get started with this platform in Monday.com, you'll need to set up an account for that and log in. So here's how you'll need to do it. For you to be able to do that, you'll need to head onto your local browser onto your device and then search it in there, Monday.com or a Monday.com website. So you can sign up for a Monday.com account on their website. You'll just need to provide some basic information and choose a plan that suits your need because Monday.com offers both free and paid plans with different features and limitation. But if you have an account already, you could just simply click onto login so that you could access your workspace projects and tasks, and you'll typically use your email address and password to log in. So let's try and go ahead and click onto this link, and you'll be redirected onto the login page. So what you'll need to do, you'll need to type in your work email in here, click onto next, or you could sign in with Google. So since we don't have an account yet, let's simply click on to sign up. But before we go on to that, if you will have any problems on to log into your account, usually once you have put in your details, it will go directly, but there can be some issues like if you forgot your password or any details that you have mistakenly input in, you'll just need to visit the help center for that one. So let's go ahead and do a quick sign up onto Monday.com. So this is the sign up page, more like the same with the login page. It has a welcome to Monday.com in here. So getting started is free actually. You don't need any credit card needed, and you'll have the option to continue with Google, or you'll just need to type in your email in here and click on continue. So by proceeding, you should agree to the terms of service and policy on Monday.com. So personally, whenever I have an account creation or anything related to that, I usually use this continue with Google feature. So using this is simpler because it allows you to log in or sign up for a service by connecting your Google account. It will eliminate the need to create a new username and password because it streamlines already the process and reduces the steps required, making it more convenient and user friendly. So let's try to use this step in here. Now, the next thing that you'll do here onto Monday.com after clicking that is to choose an account. So you'll just need to click onto the email address that you want to use. And right after that, you are successfully on Monday.com. So it will ask you what brings you here today. So this answer will help you because Monday.com will tailor your dashboard as to your needs. So let's add it in here personal and then click on to continue. So they will ask you as well what you'd like to manage first, so you can always add more in the future. So as of the moment, let's try to choose in here designs and creative. We could have in here finance, and we could also choose education. So let's just opt for design and creative and click on to continue. So what you'd like to focus as well, you have your project management, creative requests, and many more. So let's just go to project management, click on to continue. And one last question, how did you hear about Monday.com? So there are different options that you have in here. Just simply click onto one, click onto your answer. So let's use YouTube ad in here and then click on to continue. Now, right after that as well, it will ask you to invite your teammate. So Monday.com has a feature in here to collaborate with your teammate to get the most out of it. So you'll just need to add in their emails in there, add in their position, if they are an admin or a member. So you can add in another since there are just two options in here, and just click on to invite your team. So let's just do that one later. And now you're in. So that is how you create an account and log in on Monday.com. Let's talk about workspaces, boards, and items in Monday.com. So these workspaces, boards, and items are the fundamental components of project management and collaboration tools. So they will help team organize tasks, streamline workflows, and track progress. Here's a quick overview of each. Let's start with workspace. So since we have chosen project management earlier, so this is actually made as our main workspace. Workspaces are the top level containers that will help you organize your projects and teams. So they serve as a central hub for collaboration and can be thought of as folders of your work area. So for you to be able to add in a workspace, you'll just need to simply click onto this drop down button in here and then click on add workspace. So as you can see, it will add a new workspace. You could add in a new name. So let's just leave it as it is. And then we have here the privacy if it is open and closed. So I'll just add it into open and then click on to add workspace. So as you can see, we have a new workspace already onto our Monday.com. Now let's go ahead and talk about boards. So as you can see, we have your recent boards and I don't have any boards in this workspace since we have just recently created this one. So boards are actually the next level of organization within a workspace. So they are used to visualize and manage tasks or projects. So you could think of board as project specific spaces where you can create and track tasks or items. We could actually change the workspace, and here let's move into to my main workspace that we have earlier since it has a board already. So the board that we have onto this main workspace is this project management. So I'll just need to simply click onto that, and this is how it looks like. Now let's go back to the new one that we have created. So here onto new workspace, let's start in scratch onto creating or adding a board. So we could actually choose from different templates that they offer. So let's try to click onto that, add from templates. And right after, you'd be redirected onto this page, onto the template center page. So you could explore different templates which are recommended for you, created in your account, and you could see the different in here as well. So you could utilize the search bar here onto the upper part so that you could search for templates. So for example, we're trying to manage social media. So let's try to search in here social media so that we could find some boards that we could use for social media management. So as you can see, we have our social media planner. So let's try to simply click onto that template. And then right after, you could see the description onto that specific template and then just simply click on to use template in here. So as you can see, it is already creating your board. And right after that, you could see your board already in here. So as you can see here onto the left side, we have here the workspace, and this template that we've chosen, which is the social media planner, has two board. We have here the social media plan in here. So let's simply click onto that. And here onto this board, you actually can see the strategy, the content, and the Gantt chart in here regarding your social media plan. So you can see also the date that it was created. So you could add in a cover for that and make a document full width. So you have here the different options to update it. We have different tools in here, such as the add in button, the undo, redo. We could also change the text styles in here. We have here the alignment, the layout, the bulleted list, numbered list, checklist, the style, and the mention. So let's go ahead onto the other board that we have in here, the social media planner. So this is actually different type of board as well in here. So here onto this part actually, this is the board wherein you'll have the option to assign the item or work or task to team members responsible for its completion. You can attach files or add labels and tags to categorize item. Now what is actually items? So these in here are the item. So this whole thing that we have in here that is labeled as a month one is actually called groups, and onto groups we have items inside it. So items are actually the representation of individual tasks, to-dos, or pieces of work within a board. So each item typically has a title. As you can see, we have here day one as a title and maybe assigned to team members. So it also has a description, due date, and maybe assigned to team members. So items can be moved around the board as prioritized and updated as work progress. So there are different types of items that we have in here. So let's try to open up this day one. So let's use this for example. So as you can see in here, you could start a conversation for this specific item. So if you click onto that, you could write an update in here. So you could add in here that you're currently working onto this. So let's add in currently working. Then right after, you could see the different textiles in here that you can add in. You could add in also files, GIF, emoji, and you can mention someone onto this specific item. So just simply click on to update for that. And right after, it is posted actually in here. So you'll see the reminder option in here and actually see also who has seen this update that you've made. So you have the reactions also in here. You could react onto the specific update for that item, and then you can add in a reply in here and just simply click on to reply. So you could also delete that one. So you could pin to top, copy link, and follow this conversation, edit this, or delete this update for everyone, or you could bookmark this update's inbox. So here onto the item as well, if you click onto that, you'll have the files option in here. So you could add in different files in here that is relevant to this specific item and the activity log or the different things that happened onto the specific items. So here are the different things that we have also here onto this item. You could add in the posting schedule. So as you can see here, it is on April 21, 2021. So you could move in the date for that onto April 4. You could also add in the post that you want to upload onto that specific day. So you have here the category, you can change onto that. So you have here that one. And you can also add in the team member that you want to lead onto the specific project, the image design. You could also add in here the design status and the URL. So there are a lot of options that you could do onto this board that we have in here or for this specific item. So just make use onto the different tools that Monday.com offers so that you could utilize this feature to make the most out of it so that you could create your projects. And that's how the workspace boards and item work on Monday.com. Let's talk about Monday.com dashboard. So these are actually powerful feature that allows you to create visual, customizable, and interactive displays of your work data. So for you to be able to have a dashboard onto your workspace, you'll just need to click onto here. In the left side, you have here the add item to workspace, this plus button. So if you click onto that, you'll have the option in here to see the new dashboard. So let's simply click onto that to add in a dashboard, and you could write in a dashboard name. So we could just leave it as it is as new dashboard. And here onto the privacy, you could change it from main to private. So if you change it from private, you could work onto this privately alone or with selected team members. So let's just leave it as it main and then click on create dashboard. Now, here's what the dashboard actually look like. So with this one, you can gain insights, track progress, and monitor key metrics at a glance. So you can add in various widgets to your dashboard to represent different aspects of your project and task, making it a central hub for managing and analyzing your work. So as you can see here under the first tab that we have as a guide from Monday.com, so you could connect boards onto this dashboard. So you could choose a board to use as a data source for this dashboard. So let's click onto choose boards in here. So we actually have two boards, the social media planner and the project management. So let's use this social media planner and click onto done. So right after that, you can see that there is a connected board already since it says that there is one connected board. So the next step that we have in here is to add in a widget to this dashboard. So this will visualize your data using charts, timelines, and many more. So let's click on got it and then add it. And here are the different widgets that it offers. So if you use this widget, it will visually show data from your boards, numbers, get a quick view on all number columns, battery, your progress at a glance. So if you use Gantt chart, you could plan, track, and present your project visually using the Gantt chart, files gallery, manage and collaborate on your files with your team and apps. So there are actually more widgets in there. Just you could just simply click onto that to explore the different widgets or the widget center. So there are different categories for the widgets. We have staying on top, motivation, media, personal, apps by Monday, marketplace apps. So let's try to add in a widget onto that dashboard. So let's try to add this battery so that we could see our progress. So let's click on add widget. And as you can see, we have here the different colors. So you could actually drag this widget. You could just simply click onto these buttons in here. So you could drag it like that so that you could place it where you like. And this three dots in here is the more options. So you could view this battery onto full screen. So as you can see, these are the different indicators for the colors. So this or that, fill in the blank, favorite, good morning or good night, the questions, the humor, inspiration, and empty. So if you're wondering where we've got all of these details in here, so these are actually from the board that we have connected. So there is a search bar also in here onto the battery, so you could save the changes as well if you have made some changes onto this widget. So you could click onto this person as well to filter it by person, and you could filter by anything. Simply click onto this drop down menu wherein you have the option in here to add in a column, a condition, a value, and you can add in new filters as well. So here onto the right side, you have here the display type. You can have it on split mode. So let's have it on battery. We have it on table as well. So this is what the table look like. So we have this on our board. So this is actually what it look like in the split mode. So we have the battery as well together with the board or the table type. So you have here the settings also in here. So here onto the setting, you could choose which status columns to include. So we could add in some content category in here. You could change it to design status, Facebook posting, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as per your liking. So make sure to click onto which you prefer. So we have more settings options as well in here. So you could add in a completion label, so you could add in done. You could choose a number column to add weight to items as well. And here onto the boards, you could choose which boards to show into your widget. So we have chosen that one already, and you can add in more boards for this widget as well. Simply click onto this, and also you could choose groups. So here onto the choose groups, the group that we have chosen from the board social media planner is just month one. So you could add in top group as well. In here, you could just simply click onto that one. So here onto this three dots onto the more options. So if you click onto it, we could exit the full screen. You could see the settings. We could rename this one. So let's try to rename that one out. Let's just simply click onto it and change this to progress. And you have successfully changed it already. So you could also duplicate this specific widget. So as you can see, we successfully duplicated that one. So let's head back to our dashboard. And we have here two batteries already, or progress, since we have renamed it. So for you to delete this one, so we could just simply click onto this, click onto delete, and you have successfully removed that one out. So there is an option also for you here onto this dashboard to have this one onto favorite. So you'll just need to simply click onto add onto favorite so that you could see this onto your favorites. So actually here onto the right side, you have the dashboard's help if you still have any confusions, and you could share this to your different team members. Click onto share and you'll have the option to share it to your dashboard members, or you could invite by email or link. And if you click on these three dots, you could have this dashboard on a present mode, live data where you can edit board data in real time, or you could faster load time and smoother experience onto live data off or data is read only. So you could change the type to private in here, rename this dashboard, duplicate it, export it to PDF, and also delete this one. And that's how you navigate through dashboard here onto Monday.com. Let's talk about automation and integration. So both of these plays a crucial role in enhancing productivity and efficiency in today's workplace. So in the context of Monday.com, this will allow you to streamline repetitive tasks and workflows. So that would be the use of automation. And then while integration will enable you to connect your Monday.com workspace with other tools and services you use regularly. So here's an overview of these concepts. So let's start with automation in here. So as you can see, let's just simply click onto a board onto the chosen workspace, which is new workspace, and then the board is social media planner. So we have here onto the upper part, onto the right side of the screen, the automate. So this is the automation feature of Monday.com. And if you click onto it, you'd be redirected here onto this page. So this is the automation center page. So here on automation with Monday.com is where you can set up rules and triggers that automatically perform actions based on specific condition. So just for example, you can automate task assignments, due date changes, and status updates, reducing manual work and human error. So as you can see, this is the automation center. Here onto the automation center's left side, we have here the different categories that it offers: the basic, featured, notification, status change, recurring, due dates, item creation, move items, sub items, dependencies, and custom. So there is also a new feature that we have in here that you can create custom automation that supports sub items. So if we scroll down here into a little bit, we could see the basic automation that Money.com offers. So as you can see this one, when an item is created, assign creator as a person. So we could click onto use template to view this automation. And this is what it looks like onto creating this automation. So when you have a specific item, or if there is an item onto your board that is created, so this will automatically assign, or this will automatically find someone to be assigned as a creator. So let's click onto this person in here so that we could choose who would do this specific item. So you could add in a column in here. You could just simply click onto this lead. So when an item is created, then assign creator as lead. So you could delete this one, and you could also add in more information regarding this, and then just simply click on create automation for that. So let's wait for it to be created. You can see it is already added in here onto our board automation. So these board automations that we have in here are where the automations of your board is located. So as of the moment, we could see that there are 4 active automation that is onto this board, which is the new workspace board. So there is a note here onto the upper part wherein it says automation changes effective from October 30th. So automations triggered by column value changes after item creation may be affected by future update. So you could learn more about this change here onto the link in here and the full documentation. So here on the board automations, we have our search bar, the activity log. You could also add in a new automation in here. So this is the automation that we just recently made. So you could add in a description for that. So let's name it assign. You could see the details of the automation in here, and you could turn this one off and then turn this one on. So here onto the three dots on the right, we have here the edit automation, duplicate this, save as template, automation activity, and delete automation. Let's try to duplicate it. Just simply click onto that. And as you can see, it is already created as a duplicate. You'll just need to simply click create automation to proceed. Now, as you can see, we have two of this automation already. So to delete this, just simply click onto the three dots and delete automation and delete permanently. You can see the other automations that I have also in here. So when design status changes to ready to schedule, notify delete, or when posting schedule changes, notify delete. So as you can notice, there is another tab that we have here onto the upper part, which is the account usage. So this is the part wherein you would be able to see the amount of actions that is available onto your account. So as of the moment, we don't have any actions used. So if there is one, so it would be added in here since we just have 25,000 actions per month for free trial since that is our plan. So if you want to do more, so just simply click onto this upgrade plan here onto the upper part so that you could have more actions. So that's how you navigate to automation. Now let's head on to the other feature that we have here on Monday.com. So which is beside automation, the integration. So if you click onto that, you'd be also redirected here onto this page, just like the same on automation. Monday.com offers a wide range of integration with popular apps and services such as Slack, Google Workspace, Microsoft Teams, and more. So these integrations allow you to sync data, receive notifications, and streamline communication between Monday.com and your other tools. So as you can see in here, here are the different categories that we have here onto the left side. We have Explore by app, feature, remote work, communication, customer support, marketing, e-commerce, software development, finance, CRM, and import data. So here are the different apps that you would be able to integrate with Monday.com. We have our Twilio, Typeform, MailChimp, we have Trello, a GitHub, Dropbox, we have our Outlooks, Google Drive, Gmail, Asana, Box, Zoom, and many, many more. So you could choose the specific app that you want to integrate with your planner. So let's simply try to click Gmail in here so that we would be able to create an integration within our Monday account and Gmail account. So let's click onto that. And as you can see, here are the different Monday to Gmail integrations that we have in here. So you need to connect your inbox with your board so that it would automatically transform emails into action items and updates. So you could click on learn more for that. And as you can see, we could try in a specific integration in here. So we could try this one out. When a new item is created, send an email to someone. So let's simply click to add to board. So this would automatically be added to our social media planner board. So simply click onto add to board. You'll have the option to choose an email or an account. So or use another account. So simply click onto that. So we're redirected onto this page wherein just like integration, we could update the information into this integration. So when a new item is created, send and let's click onto email in here. So you could write in the subject of your email. So let's add in a notification and you could type in here into your email that do this task. So we could have that one as our email and we could send this to someone. So we'll just have to send it to me. So when a new item is created onto your board, it will automatically send an email with the notification as a subject and do this task as the body of it to myself. So let's just simply click add to board for that. Right after that, you'd be headed onto the board integration and you'd be able to see that it is added already in here. So as of the moment, you can see that I have two active integration onto this board. So we also have a search bar in here. So you could add in a description in here. So let's add in here notification. Then right after, you could turn off this one or turn on, and then the three dot is just like the same with the automation. We have here the edit integration, duplicate this integration activity, and delete this. So as you can see, here is my other integration that I've created earlier. We have every day a Facebook posting status is published, you will send an email to myself. So you could view also the integrations activity that we have in here. So as you can see, the status, date and time board, and the app that we've used, and the integration. So you could also use this filter here above the status, the app, and board. So just make use of those things. And also, if you want to add more or a new integration, simply click onto this one in here, add new integration, and you'd be redirected again onto the integration center, wherein you could explore the apps again. So here onto the accounts usage. So the same with automation. 25,000 actions are available for this. So if you want more, you could just upgrade your plan. So by setting up automation and integrations in Monday.com, you can optimize your workflow, reduce manual tasks, and keep your team aligned with real-time data updates and notification. And that's how you navigate through automation and integrations on Monday.com. Now let's talk about creating and deleting boards on Monday.com. So once you're already onto Monday.com's dashboard or you have already chosen a workspace, so let's simply click on space in here. So here onto the left side, you'll find it. So as of the moment, I have new workspace. So if you click onto that, you could choose in the different workspace. You could add some as well. So let's go to my main workspace in here. So once you're already onto your workspace, you'd be able to see your recent boards in here. So this is the board that I have here onto the specific workspace that I have. But if I click onto this plus button in here, so I can add in a new board. So this is how you create a board. So boards are actually the foundation for organizing and managing your work. So they serve as a visual workspaces where you can create and track tasks, projects, or any other type of data you need to manage. So you can create multiple boards for different purposes and delete them as well when they're no longer in need. So let's simply click onto new board in here to create a new one, and then we could have this one renamed. So let's just leave it as new board. We could change the privacy to main. So for that, visible to everyone in your account, private, which is for working privately alone or with selective team members, and shareable for working privately with guests outside your account. So you could also select what you're managing this board all about for items, campaigns, creatives, budget, leads, clients, employees, projects, and tasks. So let's just click onto items and you can add in a custom as well. To successfully create it, just simply click on create board. So right after creating, we have seen this notification that says welcome to your first shareable board. Share this board with clients, contractors, and freelancers by inviting them as guests, and they won't be able to see other boards in your account. So just click on OK, got it. And as you can see, we have managed to create a new board here onto our workspace. So we have the new board and project management board. So we have two boards already onto our workspace. So each of this board actually has its own columns in here, tasks, and settings, making them highly customizable. So you can create boards from scratch, just like what we did, or use templates provided by Monday.com to streamline your workflow. So here's how to create a new board using a template. So I'll just need to onto the same button earlier, the plus button in here, and then right after, click on to choose from templates. And then right after, you'd be redirected to the template center. So you could search for all templates in here. You could write in boards here onto the search bar to create some project boards that we have. So we have a work management, agile project management board in here. So you have different categories also in here. So feel free to make use of to this template center to give your board a nice view. So let's head back to the board that we have in here. So there are some times when a board is no longer needed. So just like this, we have two boards already. So if you don't want this board already, you can delete it to declutter your workspace. So deleting this will permanently remove all its data, including this task in here, the columns, and any attachment. So be cautious when deleting boards, as there is no way to recover them once they are deleted. So let's go ahead and try to delete it. So for you to be able to do that, once you hover onto the new board in here, if this is the chosen one, so we'll just hover onto it, and this three dots on here onto the right side, if you click onto this, you'd be able to see open board and new tab. You could rename this, move it, change the board type, add favorite, duplicate it, and the delete button. So we'll just need to simply click onto delete to remove it, and as you can see, it is already successfully deleted. So you'll have a quick option to undo this here onto the upper part. So after this confirmation here onto the upper part, there is no way to recover it. So be sure and take time to really think if you want to proceed on to deleting this specific board. And that's it. You've now learned how to create and delete boards in Monday.com. Boards are essential for organizing your work and managing projects efficiently. So while deleting unnecessary boards helps keeps your workspace tidy, and by creating them, it will really help you. So be mindful onto doing those things. Talk about essential columns in Monday.com, which is people, status, and date. So in Monday.com, columns plays a crucial role in organizing and managing your projects and tasks. So there are three essential columns for many workflows. There are the people, status column, and date column. So let's go ahead and try to. So we have here the group and the items and the different columns onto each group. So we have here the item person status date as a column onto the specific group title that we have in here. So let's name this one group 1 so that it won't be confusing. So in group 1, we have an item column, person column, status, and date. So let's talk first about this person column or also known as the people column. So this column will allow you to assign tasks or items to a specific team member. So you can assign one or more people to a task, making it clear who is responsible for each task. So this column will help in task delegation and accountability. So for you to be able to add in a person who will work on this, we'll just need to simply click onto this add button in here. So you could search in names or roles team. So as you can see, there is one added already, which is just me, since I don't have any team members as of the moment. So you could click on to invite a new member by email as well to add in a new person that you could assign for this specific role. So if, for example, you have a lot of people added already onto this specific board, you could just simply search onto their names in here or roles so that you could simply choose them to be the one assigned for item one. So let's try to add in or update this item one. So let's make it like a task. So this is Facebook post publish. Facebook post publish. So let's rename it like that. So that it would be very clear. So for the Facebook post published item, here onto the column person, the one that is assigned for this is just myself. So right after adding a person, we have here the status as well. So this status column can let you track the progress or stage of a task or a project. So if it often consists of predefined labels or statuses such as to do, in progress, or done. So we have your working on it and done, and you can customize the labels to match your workflow and easily see where each task stands. So if you click onto status in here, so we have your working on it, start, done, and we have another button. So it's just a blank one. So you could actually edit this, click on to edit labels, and we could just change this to in progress. So feel free to be creative onto this one. So let's fix that in progress. So let's also add this one, not yet. Or we could just leave this done like that, or you could add in a default label as well. So we could change the color here. To the right side, we could make it this one, and this one we can make it red or dark red. Then here onto the done, we could use blue for that, but I think green is way more better for that. So right after making those changes, just simply click on to apply to have your progress added. Then right after, the last column that we have in here is date. So this date column will help you manage the deadlines and due dates. So you could add in specific dates to tasks, making it easy to prioritize and schedule your work. So this column can include due dates, start projects, or start dates, or any other date related information relevant to your project. So for this one, we could just simply click onto it, and then there is a calendar view. So this is actually a new feature that they have. So this is the new date picker. So you could just type out a date or flip through the calendar using the arrow keys on your keyboard. So click on to got it. So you could use this drop down to choose a month. Then you could use March in here. Right after, you could choose in a year. So let's add in 2026 just for example. And then you could also choose a date or like 14, and as you can see, it is automatically added just like that. So these three columns that we have in here can enhance your task assignments, tracking, and deadline management. So customize this further and align this to your team's workflow. So if you want to add more column in here, simply click onto this plus button onto the right side so that you could add in the essential columns that we have in here. And there you have it. You've successfully learned the three columns that is very important on Monday.com, which is person, status, and date. Let's talk about deadline combos in Monday.com. So, in project management and task tracking, these deadline combos refer to specific combinations of deadlines or due dates for various tasks or subtasks within a project. So, actually, these combinations can help team plan and execute their projects more effectively. For you to be able to check onto those things, what you'll need to do is to choose in a workspace. So we have the new workspace and here chosen, and then click onto a board. We have your three boards, the social media planner, the new dashboard, and the board. So you could just click onto the one that you prefer. So we could have this one, or click this my board in here. So once you're in there already, so you'll just need to head onto the date section of your group. So this is the group. We have here the items, and let's head on to the date column in here. So there's three dots onto its right side. So let's simply click onto that. And as you hover onto settings, you'd be able to see more options in here. So you have the customize date column, add description, set as deadline, add or edit date reminders, restrict column edit, restrict column view, show column summary. So what we'll need to choose in here is set as deadline. So these common deadline combos include dependencies, milestones, and slack time. So actually, this is a new feature that they have in here wherein you'd be able to see upcoming and overdue tasks at a glance. So to make this work, you'll just need to connect the column date with the relevant status column and people column. So be sure to use the green status label when something is completed. So let's choose status column. So we have the status column already selected in here, but if you have another column that you could use the deadline combo, you could choose that one in here, or you could just simply click on to create new column. Then right after, you could also choose a person column. So actually this is just an optional one, but you could try to opt onto this one as well so that you'd be able to make use onto the full functionality of this feature, which is the deadline combo. So let's try to select a column for this and let's click onto person. So if you have another column that you want to connect to this one, just simply click onto this create new column in here. So here onto the bottom part, you could actually see more like a quick preview on what will happen onto this deadline combo. So right after choosing those things, what we'll need to do is just simply click onto connect columns. So as you click onto that button, you can notice some changes here onto your column of date. So onto the working on it, you see a green space in here. So it is meant that the deadline onto the specific item is today. So right after that or next to that is the green one, so which is done on time. So since the deadline is September 4, you have done this already or the status of it is done. So there is a check mark in here. And here onto the next item that we have in here, you can see that there is a red exclamation point. So the date for that one or the due date is September 4 and the status is currently stuck, making it 4 days overdue. So these are really valuable in project management as they provide a structured framework for planning, organizing, and executing tasks within a project. So they will help you ensure efficient workflow by clarifying task dependencies, allowing for the timely completion of critical milestones, and strategically allocating slack time to accommodate unexpected delays or changes. So this comprehensive approach fosters project accountability, minimizes risk, and enhances communication among team members in here and ultimately contributing to the successful and timely delivery of a project objectives. So you could update also in here the different due dates in here. As you can see, they're still working on it. You'll just need to simply click onto that one and let's move the date to 10. And as you can see, you still have 2 days left to finish this one. And if we'll move this one as well, you have 8 days left for this one. So there are changes if you also try to update the deadline dates or due dates onto this board. So in summary, there are three columns that are really important for deadline combos. So that would be the person, the status, and the date. So person is actually just optional, but make sure to add in a status and a date for that, or you could also customize this as per your liking. So that's how you use the deadline combo on Monday.com. Let's talk about numbers column and text column on Monday.com. So in Monday.com, so these columns are actually fundamental part of organizing and managing your data. So there are still two of the essential column types that are important in here. So we'll talk about the numbers and text columns. So if you're not familiar on how to add column, just simply click onto this plus button onto the far right side of the group and you can see that plus button in there. So we'll just need to click it and you'll have the option to see the other essentials. And here we have the text and the numbers. So let's start with the text column. This is actually for inputting and displaying textual information where you can use it to describe tasks, provide details, or add in comments. So it is a versatile and can be used for various types of text-based data. And this numbers column in here is the column type that allows you to input and manipulate numerical data. So you can use it for various purposes, such as tracking quantities, cost, budget, scores, or any other numerical values relevant to your project or task. So let's start first onto text column in here. So for you to be able to add it, you'll just need to simply click onto this one in here. And then right after, you can see text column in here. So you could actually update the name onto this one so that it won't say text. So let's add it in here, description. So we have already renamed that. And here you could add in a text, just simply click onto it and add in anything that you want. So you could try putting in here still doing this or things like that. So it is upon you on what do you want to add onto this description and here. And you have also this small button in here or this emoji. And if you click onto that, you'd be able to see some icons in here that could be relevant onto your description. So you could try to add in this one. You could just simply click onto this like that. So you have successfully added those things. So if you hover onto this, you'd be able to see the different icons that we have input. So as you've noticed, so let's resize this so that we could see the icons. And as you've noticed in here, the text icon is just for a single line. So there's also another option or another column that you could add in that is related to text column so that you could add in long text in here. So what you'll need to do, let's just simply click onto this add column button again, and then just simply click onto this more columns. So we'll use the search bar in here and let's type in here long text. And right after, you'd be redirected in here. This can add large amount of text without changing the column. So let's just simply click add to board for this. As you can see, we have the long text. Let's update this to long description. And right after that, for you to be able to add in the description in here, just like what we did to the text column, you'll just need to click onto it and let's try adding a long description in here. Let's just paste it like that. And then if you hover on it, you'd be able to see a long type of text in there. So let's head on to the other column in here that we've talked about, which is the numbers column. So for you to be able to do that, so the same process within the text column. So we'll just need to click onto add column in here. And then right after, simply click onto this number button in here. So you could give your numbers column a name. So this could be something like budget, quantity, or any other relevant item. So we'll just need to simply click onto that. Let's try to add in here budget. Okay, so you have simply updated the name onto it. And then right after, you can start entering numerical data into this column for each item, like task, project, or many more on your board. So you'll just need to click onto that specific cell in the numbers column to input a value. So you could click onto it like that. And then right after, you could add in some values in here that you want to add. Let's try to put in here 100. So you could also perform calculations on number columns by using formula like sum, average, or anything if needed. So for you to be able to do that, you'll just need to simply click onto the cell in here, and then you'll need to click onto the formula icon in here to set up the calculation. So as you can see also here onto the bottom part, you could see that it has a sum in here onto the budget. So since we have 0 in here, let's try to add in 50. And as you can see, the value of the total in here changed to 150 because 100 plus 50 is 150. So we could also change the units to dollars in here and other currency. So you could type in also your own and the different functions such as none. You could also add in a sum, average, the median, the overall minimum of column, and the max and the count of the column. So make use onto this function in here so that you'd be able to see the different functions that this one offers. So adding the numbers and text column to your Monday.com workspace is immensely helpful for keeping your work organized and accessible. So these numbers column in here, or the one that we've renamed to budget, will enable you to quantify and track important data like budget, quantities, or scores. So it simplifies calculation and provides a clear overview of numeric information, making it easy to manage your finances and also monitor your progress and analyze different trends. On the other hand, these text descriptions that we added in here, the description and the long description, so this is also indispensable for providing context and description. So this will allow you to explain tasks, provide additional details, or leave a comment. So these make communication within your team seamless and ensures everyone understands the specifics of each item. So whether you're jotting down notes, clarifying instructions, or sharing updates, the text column keeps textual information organized and readily available. So both of these columns simplify data management by categorizing and structuring your information, making it simpler to task and communicate critical details for your projects and tasks. And that's how the numbers and tags work on Monday.com. Now let's talk more about board templates on Monday.com. So these are actually pre-designed layouts that serve as a starting point for creating new boards. So they're incredibly helpful because they simplify the process of setting up and structuring workspaces, projects, or workflows. So these templates are designed for various use case and industries, ensuring that you can quickly get started with the right framework, saving you time and effort. So as you can see, we have a board open in here already onto our new workspace name for our workspace. So if you have another board in there, so let's just simply click onto that one. And there is actually an option for you to have this certain board that we have in here already as a template. So for you to be able to create this one as a template, just click onto this three dot in here, and then you'd be redirected onto more setting in here. So what you'll need to do right after that is to click onto this button in here or to save this as a template. So this is actually a new feature onto Monday.com. So I'll just need to click onto that one. And right after, as you can see, it is actually saving workspace as a template. So we'll just need to wait for this one to finish so that you'd be able to see a confirmation message that it is actually created already. So as you can see, we can see the message already that this board is a part of a workspace template. So changes made here will be applied also to all future boards created from this template. So how we could locate this board onto the template section, to simply hit onto this add button in here, the add items of workspace, and then right after you could click onto this choose from templates, and then you'll just need to remember the name of your board and utilize the search bar that we have here onto the upper part, or you could just simply click onto templates created in your account so that it would be easier to find in the templates that you have created. So let's try to click onto that, and you can see the name of the workspace in here. And when it was last updated, you could also try to edit this. For you to be able to use it, just simply click onto use template. So this feature is actually more of like just duplicating your board. So instead of duplicating it, you try to do this one out so that you could have it saved already. Since if you'll just duplicate it, you'll have a copy of it, but you won't be able to use it onto different workspaces. So you'll just need to simply create this as a template so that you could use it onto your other workspace. So what you'll need to do next, or what we're gonna dive in next, is choosing templates that was made by other creators. So for you to be able to do that, you'll just simply click onto this plus button again, the add items of workspace, and then go to the same thing we did earlier, which is choose from templates. So let's click onto that, and you'll be redirected onto the template center. If you've noticed earlier, we have here the search bar onto the upper part of the screen. And here onto the left side, you could explore the different templates. So you could click onto all templates in here so that you could be able to see the different templates that they offer, the recommended for you, and the templates created in your account, which we've discussed earlier. So you have also different categories here. So let's click onto a certain category in here that we want to add. So for example, this project management in here. And as you can see, the different templates that project management offers. So these are really helpful because they save you time and streamline your work processes. So instead of starting from scratch every time you create a new project or workflow, these templates will provide pre-designed structures tailored to specific tasks or industries. So this will simplify your planning, organization, and ensuring consistency and efficiencies in your teamwork. So let's try to click onto one in here, this multi-project. So if you click onto that one, you'll see a quick detail, and you could see also the different or website that it can be integrated with. So we have our Slack, Zoom, Google Drive, Gmail, and Outlook, Dropbox, Teams, and many more. So you could see a quick preview on what it is look like for dark mode and also for the light mode. So once you want to use this, just simply click on to use template in here, and it will create your template port. Now, as you can see, we have already successfully added the multi-project board, Project Alpha, the Project Beta in here, the Portfolio Dashboard, and PM Learning Center. So if you've noticed in here that it has also different views that it offers aside from just the main table. We have it the task assigned to me. We also have the project dashboard and the Gantt. So you could add in more views also for this specific board. Just simply click add view in here and you'll be able to see the different options for board view. So that's how board templates work onto Monday.com. Now let's talk about adding data to boards in Monday.com. So this is actually a fundamental step in using the platform effectively because board serves as a visual representation of your projects, tasks, or workflows, and they consist of various columns in here to organize and store data. So you can input different types of information such as text, numbers, and many more. So to track the progress and collaborate with your team, here's an overview on how to add data to the boards. So let's start first on creating a board. So what you'll need to do is simply click onto this plus button in here to add item to your workspace or to add in a board, and click on the new board in here. So this new board will be added onto the new workspace that we have in here. We have here the privacy. We could change it to main, which is visible to everyone in your account, the private for working privately alone or with selected team members, and shareable for working privately with guests outside your account. So let's simply click on to main in here, and you could also select what's you're managing in this board. We have items, campaigns, creative. You could add in a custom in here, budgets, leads, clients, employees, projects, and tasks. So let's just simply click onto items for that. And for us to be able to identify this clearly, let's just rename this one board one. So let's name that board one. Then right after, just simply click on to create board in here. Before adding the data, so this is a crucial step, you need to create a board because this is like a digital workspace where you can organize and manage your tasks and projects. So for this one, you could also choose from various board templates or create a custom board to suit your specific need. So you'll just need to simply click onto this one, and then right after, choose from templates so that you'd be able to see the different templates that Monday.com offers for boards. Then right after, since we have already created the board in here, what we'll need to do is to add in a column. To structure your data effectively, you need to add columns to your board, and Monday.com offers a wide range of column types, including text, numbers, datas, drop downs, and more. So, as you can see in here, for this group that we have in here for our board, we have item, person, status, and date. So, these are actually called columns already. So, if you want to add more, you have a plus button here onto the far right side. Simply click onto it, and then right after, you'd be able to see the different columns that this offers. We have here the essentials, which are the status, people, date, timeline, number, and tax, and something that are super useful. We have dependency, formula, drop down files, connect boards, Monday doc, priority, and label. So if you want to dive more onto the other columns that they offer, just simply click onto more columns, and then right after, you'd be redirected to the column center page. So right after adding this board in here and the column, so what we'll need to do in here is to customize a view. So you'll need to customize how your data is displayed on the board using the different views in here, like the table view, timeline view, or calendar view. So this makes it easier to visualize and work with your data. So once you have your boarding column set up, you can start putting datas into each cell. So depending on the column type, you can add text, numbers, dates, track boxes, and more to each item onto your board. So let's start here onto the item column. So what you could add in here is the item name. So what we'll need to do in here is you'll just need to click onto it. Then right after, you'll have the option to update information in here. So we could try to add it in here, task one. So here onto the other column that we have in here is a person. So for you to be able to input or add in a value for that, simply click onto this, and you'd be able to search for names, roles or team, or the suggested people, and invite a new member for this so that you can input the data onto this specific column. So for the status column, so you have here some options that you could choose or labels onto is the current status of your item. And then if you want to add more, you could also edit labels in here and change the color or details onto this. So for date, we could have a calendar view for this one, days, months, or some sort of like that. So if you'll click onto this, it will open a calendar view, and then choose in the data that you want to input. And for this timeline, you could set in dates as well. So just like the date, it will also open up a calendar view wherein you could choose some date in here for that specific column. So by following these steps, you can easily add and manage data on your Monday.com boards. So this will help you stay organized and collaborate efficiently with your team. So that's how adding data onto boards on Monday.com board. Let's talk about searching, sorting, and filtering on Monday.com. So, these functionalities in Monday.com will help users quickly find and organize informations within their board. So, let's start off in here. So, we can see search in here or the searching feature. So, this will allow users to look for specific items, tasks, or information within a board or across multiple boards. So, it's especially useful when you have a large amount of data and need to locate something specific. So, let's try to use this one out. Just simply click onto it, and then you could type in whatever you want to search onto the search bar. So this is actually pretty easy to use. So for example, we want to find task one. We'll just simply search in or type in here task one. So as you can see, we can see the task one item already in here. the current status of it, the date, and the timeline. So let's try to search for another item in here. Let's try for group title. Let's see what it will give us. So if you search for group title, you could see in here, let's click on to under the different group title that are highlighted. So we have two group title in here. So it was highlighted so that it would be easier for you to find the group title onto that specific board. Now let's head on to sorting. Sorting is located in here, so you could sort by any column. So this will enable you to arrange the items on your board based on specific criteria such as due dates, priority, or any other relevant attributes. So this will ensure that the most important tasks or items are easily accessible. So to get started for that, let's just simply click onto it. Right after, you could see timeline in here. So if you click this one, let's remove that and let's add in a new sort. So we could search in here or sort it. Let's add in status, and then right after we could add in here descending. So save as new view. And as you can see, so the first one that we have in here is stock, done, and then this gray area in here. So since we have added this one descending, so we are actually starting from the gray, then right after done, and then right after we have stock. So for us to be able to see your views clearly, you could just simply use the sort out filter, and we could also use this filtering option that we have in here, which you could filter by anything. So let's go back to our main table in here and let's discuss more about filter. So filtering allows you to narrow down the view of your board by applying specific criteria. So this would be useful for focusing on particular tasks, team members, statuses, or any other characteristic that is important to your workflow. As you can see, if you click onto it, you could see quick filters in here. So into the all columns, we have here the different group that we have, the name, the person, the status and date, and just like sort, you could say this one as a new view, and then you'd be able to see it here onto the upper part. So by utilizing these features, you can effectively manage and navigate your boards, making it easier to find and focus on the task and information that matters most to you and to your team. So that's how searching, sorting, and filtering works onto Monday.com. Let's talk about item properties and details in Monday.com. So in Monday.com, item properties and details are essential elements that will help you organize and manage your work efficiently. So item properties are customizable attributes or fields that you can use to store specific information about your task, projects, or items. So onto the specific group that we have in here, you could see this specific item that we have in here that is named task 1. So onto the description, it is actually customizable attributes. As you can see in here, these are the different customizable attributes. So in other words, the item properties are actually the other columns that is related to this specific item. So onto here, we have the person, the status, the date, and the timeline for that. So you could update the information for this to update the item properties. So on the other hand, we have here the details. So details provide a comprehensive view of an item, including its properties, updates, and attachments. So together, this will allow you to centralize and access important information easily. And for us to be able to view the details, you'll just need to simply click onto the specific item that you want to add the details in. And then right after, this thing will pop up onto your screen. So we have here the option to rename it. Just simply click onto that one. And this is also the button where you could add in some team members for this. And then the three dots in here will help you manage your subscriber, add in an email preference, such as instant email or no email, export it to Excel, copy the item link, archive this, or delete the specific item. So as you can see, there are 3 tabs for this one. Let's start off updates. So you could actually write in an update for that specific item. So we could try to add it in here that you're currently working on. So let's add in working. So here onto the upper part of it, you could see the different format, the bold, italic, underline, the strike through, text color, size, numbers, bullets, table, link, align, line, RTL and LTR, and then a checklist. So you can add in the specific things onto this update. You could also add in files, GIF, emoji, and mention. And if you want to add it, just simply click onto update. And if you could see this note in here, it write updates via email. So if you will click onto this, you'll just need to add in the email and it will be sent out to you onto your email address. So if you click this 3 dots in here, this option, you could pin this update to the top, copy the link onto this to update, unfollow this conversation, edit the update, delete the update for everyone, or you could bookmark this update to inbox. Now let's head on to the other view in here, which is files. So this is actually the part where you can upload, comment, and review all files in this item to easily collaborate in context. For you to be able to add in a file, simply click onto this add file button in here. Then right after, you have the option to see the different files that you want to add in here onto your device or desktop. So you could also utilize the search bar option to search for files, and you could also take a look onto the files in grid format or onto list. So there is option for you to download the files as well if you have something added in here. And there is also a simpler way to add in a file, just drag and drop it in here. Then right after, we have here the activity log. So this activity log, you'd be able to see the different activities that has happened onto the specific task. So as you can see, 14 minutes ago, we have updated the date from September 9 to September 4. We have updated the status from working on to stock. And you could also refresh this so that it would be updated. So you could also export this to Excel if you want to keep track onto the progress or to the activities that happened onto the specific item. So you could also see other activities in here, such as the integrations activity and the automations activity. So as you've noticed as well, there is a plus button in here to add in another view. So you could click onto that and you could boost your items with item views. So these item views will let you visualize and manage items in many different ways. For you to be able to do this, just simply click onto Go to Items View Center to edit a new item view onto your item details. So let's try to add this one out. And as you can see, it is automatically added onto your task item. And that's how item properties and details work onto Monday.com. Let's talk about sub items in Monday.com. So, in Monday.com, these sub items will allow you to break down tasks or items into smaller, more manageable components, providing a deeper level of organization and detail within your projects. So, these are actually useful for complex projects where individual tasks have multiple steps or dependencies. So, these sub items are nested beneath the main items that we have in here and can have their own details, assignment, due dates, and more. So for you to be able to add in a sub item, let's simply add an item first. And here, simply click onto this add item button. Let's name it item. So I'll just leave it like that. And then right after, if you click onto this, it will expand the sub items. So let's click onto that. And as you can see in here, there is another thing that has opened here onto the bottom part. So you could actually add in a sub item. Let's just name this as sub item for item. And just simply click onto enter, and you could see a shortcut key in here, shift plus enter, to add another sub item. So let's try that one out, shift enter. So it actually automatically created another sub item. So let's name this one sub item for item number 2. As you can see, it has added another sub item. So the same options with item, you could also open the sub item page to add in some details in here, such as updates, files, and activity log. Also, it has different columns as well. The same with your item, it has the owner, status, date, and you could also add in some columns for this specific sub item. So feel free to adjust the details onto this one and then adjust the status. Also add in a date. So let's try 29 in here, and you would be able to update the sub item in here. So if you notice these 3 dots here beside sub item, so if you click onto that one, it will have an option for you to open it, move this item. So let's try to move this sub item to task 1. And as you can see, there is a 1 sign here onto the task 1. It means that the sub item that we have moved is already added in here. So you can see the sub item right after you click it. So let's explore more to these 3 dots. You could also duplicate this one. So you could duplicate without updates or duplicate with updates. So there are 2 options for you to do that. You could also copy the name onto this, copy the sub item link so that you could share this with your friends or teammates. You could also convert this item, create a new sub item below. You could archive this and delete this. So let's try to delete this. So right after that, you will see this pop-up screen, and it says that it will be kept in your trash for 30 days. So just simply click delete again. So there is actually an option also for you to reorder sub items by dragging and dropping them within the main item sub item section. So let's try to do that. So I'll just expand this one out, and let's add this sub 1, shift enter, sub 2, and then shift enter, sub 3. So let's try to reorder this one out. So what we'll need to do is to drag this one. So you'll just need to simply hold it, and then right after you could drag it like that easily so that you could move or reorder this specific sub items. So as you can see also in here, since Monday.com offers various views such as the board view, timeline view, calendar view, and many more, sub items also are typically visible in other views alongside with their respective main items. So let's switch to other view so that we'd be able to see our sub items in here onto a different context. So let's just simply click onto this more view in here, and let's try to see it on Kanban in here. And as you can see in here, we have here the different items on a Kanban view. So there is nothing I'm working on it. So as you can see onto stock, we have here the task one wherein we have added three sub items in here. So you could see the sub items part in here. And as you can see, there are three sub items inside it. So you could expand it, just simply click onto this drop down button. You could see the sub 3, sub 2, and sub 1. And that's how sub items work on Monday.com. Now let's talk about connecting boards on Monday.com. So in Monday.com, you can connect boards to streamline your workflow and ensure that information flows seamlessly between different parts of your project. So this feature will allow you to link related boards, share data, and automate process between them. So connecting boards can help you manage complex projects and keep everyone on the same page. So let's clean up first a review in here so that it would be easier for us to connect some boards. So you have actually the collapse option in here so that you won't be able to see that specific columns. So what we'll need to do in here first is to add in a board that we could try to connect. So let's try to do that one first. So simply click on add button in here. Then right after, click onto new board or choose from template. So let's choose a template first. So let's try this template that I've seen earlier. So let's search contact in here. Just need to scroll down, and this is the board that we're going to use as an example. So let's click onto that template. You can see the name in here, context, and the details for this. And let's just simply click onto use template. So right after create it, you could see that one here onto the contact. So let's head back to the board that we have earlier. So let's go to board one, and for you to be able to connect this board one to another board, let's simply click onto this plus button onto the add column. So right after you click onto this, you'd be able to see the different options that it offers. So let's click onto connect boards in here so that we could proceed. So right after connecting this, you'd be able to connect this board to other boards so you could easily view and edit items from any board you choose. So right after, it will give you an option to select the board that you want to connect, and let's click onto that, and let's connect it to the board that we created earlier from the templates, which is contact. So what we'll need to do right after is we'll just zoom this one out. So there is also an option in here for you to create a two-way connection. So a new column will be added on each of the selected boards, and items connected in one board will get automatically connected on the other board as well. So if you want to use this, you could simply click onto that one in here. You could also unselect it if you don't like it. And if you want to connect it already, just click onto connect boards in here. Right after, you'll see that board is connected successfully. Then you'll have the option, or you can now visualize data from your connected boards with mirror column. So the mirror column will help you reflect information from multiple boards, creating more visibility and control. So you could actually do this later. And if you want to do this as well, just click on create a mirror column. So as you can see, we have already the mirror column in here. Let's zoom in a little bit. And for you to be able to update it, just hover onto this one out and click these three dots in here, and you'll have the settings. And let's customize mirror column, and then you could show summary of all labels or what's done. So let's simply click onto all labels in here, and then right after, you should be able to see some summary. So since we don't have any items onto the item details in here, we won't have any summary. But if you have some details or data onto this, then you'd be able to see it here onto the mirror. So you could also repeat the same process onto other boards in here to connect it with other boards. So by connecting boards in Monday.com, you can actually create a network of information that simplifies project management and ensures data consistency across your organization. And that's how you connect boards on Monday.com. And there you have it. You've learned how to navigate through Monday.com or how to get started with Monday.com. So if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and if you have any question, write it down on the comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you on our next video.